doesn't think.
No, but I'm trying to think more.
Debbie the pet lady, as long as John Lieberman is defending himself, Debbie the pet lady's on the phone claims she's pissed at John Lieberman. Do you know about this?
I think so.
I heard a report about Debbie on the news yesterday.
It's weird being a reporter. Everyone gets pissed at you, right? I mean,
I'm used to it. It's just a different dynamic here.
Yeah. Debbie, what's the grief? What's the
beef?
The beef, not the grief. What's the beef?
Hello?
Debbie?
Hello?
Yeah. Hi, what's your beef with John?
I know, fucking stupid. That John is a fucking piece of shit, all right? He was supposed to help me go after the fucking Ed start, okay?
All right, you're talking about Ass Napkin Ed?
Fucking shit on me. And you know you weren't supposed to post that shit on me. I told you when he was using that shit against me.
What is going on?
Debbie. Debbie, how many hours have I spent calming you down over the past 3 days? How many conversations have we had? And you told me yesterday, I'm your saving grace. Did you not tell me I'm your saving grace yesterday?
I never told you were my saving grace.
You didn't? I have it on tape.
Fucking lie, you little fucking lie. Play that shit back then, fuckface, okay?
Why is she so upset?
Here's why she's upset.
Debbie, have a little respect. He's a newsman.
I'm sorry for your news, but they're in cahoots, these two.
Are you in cahoots with Ass Napkin Ed?
Okay?
Wait. Who's in cahoots, Debbie?
You're in cahoots with that Shelly fuck bitch, too, okay?
I believe she's referring to
I
Shuli.
know you're down with that fuckface, and don't play me. You're all trying to cover up, and you won't let me tell the truth. And you want to.
What is she talking about, John?
Here's what she's.
You ruined me.
Let me boil it down.
You took the job?
No, don't mention the shit. And I want it off the news now.
What is the cover up?
Let me boil it down. Debbie was very upset that Ass Napkin Ed allegedly was threatening her over the weekend to release some personal information about her. Okay? She said she wanted to get out in front of it so that Ed wouldn't somehow start spinning his own tail.
Okay.
So she revealed to me some details about her criminal past. She revealed details about her criminal past to me.
Yes.
She said we should broadcast it, in fact, because she wanted her side out there before
fair
Ed
enough.
could reveal it. Now, Debbie, we told the story in a very fair way. In fact, I said that it was 30 years ago, it was in your past, and now you're moving forward with
what
your
happened,
life.
Debbie? What was the criminal act? Debbie.
What? How?
What was it? I didn't know you had a criminal past. What is the past?
Doesn't matter, because the whole fucking world knows now.
Well, why'd you tell everyone?
I didn't tell them. I told the stupid news. Fuck.
Well, that's the news. That's what they do.
No.
Wait, maybe Mr. Kane can say something here. Can you say something to Debbie?
Yes, I would like to say that.
President here. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
I just want to say, when I hear all that screaming and crying and cursing, reminds me I got a phone home.
Right. You've got some explaining to do. All right, Debbie.
Well, you know, it's for the President of the United States. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful to you, but, you know, you shouldn't be playing around on the air the way you are with the sexual shit, okay? Because,
Yeah, what about that? She's making a good point.
You shouldn't be doing this on the air.
Well, I would like to address
You're making yourself really look like shit now, and it's,
Mr. Kane, Debbie says that you're making light of sexual harassment, and she
Debbie-
doesn't like it as a woman.
Debbie,
and that's why you shouldn't even be a president.
Let him answer.
Sorry.
Let him answer you,
now,
Debbie.
Let me address your question and comment.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to. Debbie,
I have no respect for you.
hold on a
Sorry,
second.
I'm just in a bad
Let him answer, Debbie. Let him answer, and then we'll get back to
My
your
gosh,
problem.
I feel like Rodney Dangerfield.
Right, getting no respect.
None
Okay.
at all.
Right.
Okay, now, Debbie, you've heard of LBJ
Yes.
and JFK?
Right.
Well, I'm PPP.
Right.
Pizza, politics, and pussy.
Well, you're making a joke, and that's what Debbie doesn't like.
Oh, that's what she doesn't
you're
want.
a congressman in the United States, going to be a president.
Well, he's not a
He
congressman.
was never a congressman.
I was this close, Debbie.
He was almost a
You shouldn't be
president.
playing around like this because it's making you look more bad, disrespectful to the United States of America here.
Right. What do you say to Debbie and the women
What are
out
you
there?
doing on Howard's show anyway? I don't understand.
Well, Debbie,
Well,
we want him on. I mean,
I would
this
like
is an
to
exclusive.
say, I mean, this is an exclusive, and I purposely came here to Howard Show. It's the
I don't
only
have
place I would go.
respect to Howard Stern,
I mean,
but
Debbie, this is a big deal for me.
Debbie.
Yeah, don't get
Debbie.
in our way.
Now,
Yeah.
listen, Debbie, if
I
you
didn't
came to
come
the
up here to
studio.
fight with the president. I'm sorry.
All right,
I don't
but
wanna fight
Debbie,
with
he's
him.
not the president, but he does want to answer your accusations.
But I would like to say, Howard, I mean this too.
Yeah,
I would like to shove my tongue down Debbie's throat if I didn't think she'd run to fucking Gloria Allred.
Right. Well, Debbie, Look.
Oh, he's making me sick. I can't.
All right, I'm gonna shut him up and let you get back to John Lieberman.
Please, I'm not gonna.
John, you say Debbie called you, from what I understand, that she had some sort of criminal thing that she wanted to get off her chest before anybody found out about it.
That is correct. So, Debbie, let me ask you this:
John, the truth here. Tell the fucking truth, okay? Because I called you up. I had all the proof on Ed, what he was doing to me, how he was making threats and going to get people to hate me off the Stern Party thing and everything else.
Debbie, I was protecting you by not releasing secretly recorded conversations. You recorded Ed secretly. I was protecting you by not releasing that.
That sounds very nice.
I have to record him secretly because you know what he lies about me. He's been trying to get me off the Stern show. Now he did it.
Debbie, you're not going to be off the Stern show.
Yes, you are going to take me off.
No, I'm not.
You don't want to deal with me. I'm a sick fuck now. Everybody thinks I'm a psycho fucking perfect, and they don't
Debbie,
understand me. Because
Ed doesn't control this show. I do. No, I control it. How do you figure Ass Napkin Ed controls this show?
You have no clue what he did to me.
Well,
Nobody
without
cared.
your knowledge, he's doing it, apparently.
Messages with Will and everybody. They filled out the machine. I'm sure him and his little buddies there.
Debbie, how could Ed get you off the show?
And I'm not the sicko.
Ed, how could Ed get you off the show?
Pull.
He's got pull. I'm the guy. I'm Howard Stern. I'm telling you,
And
there's no
you never
pull.
talk to Ed.
I never speak to Ed.
God, pull with your peoples there, Howard. Not you. Your peoples.
They don't. These people don't have any influence on me.
Got the pull.
So what is the criminal background?
Debbie, I heard the report and I thought it was wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I was like, wow, she's really changed her life. You never hear a story like that.
Well, like I said, yeah, I had problems with my pants. I didn't want to talk.
You had problem? Well, it sounds uplifting. You straightened yourself out.
I did. I had a bad past. You know, nobody wants.
Mr. Kane, isn't that what it's about?
Everybody gotta know it now. Because
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Kane, isn't that what it's about? People like Debbie, Americans who can turn it around.
Second chances.
Absolutely. Howard, I could not agree with you anymore. May I ask you a question,
Sure.
Howard? Where's the best place to jerk off here at Sirius? I've been doing a lot of pumping off since my wife found out about my shenanigans.
All right, but listen, Debbie, I think it's great. I don't know what you did. I didn't hear the report.
Thank God you didn't hear the report.
Tell me what you did.
Put the report away. Put it away.
All right, but what did you do?
I was in jail. Okay.
For what?
It was a long time ago. It was attempt murder. The original charge was attempt.
You lost your temper, I guess?
Attempt murder, and he dropped it down. I had to take a plea to assault, and they gave me a 2 to 6 sentence.
Well, it sounds like you've gotten your anger issues under control.
I do.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
All right.
I haven't had any bad problems since then. I've been a good father and everything else. I'm not a bad person. I don't want people to fucking twist this shit around.
I think you're terrific. I like you.
Yeah, Howard, would you fucking hire me after you found out the shit? Shout it!
Wow.
Wow. All right, well.
Just another day in the Howard 100 newsroom.
All right. Thank you, John Lieberman. You've done an excellent job, I guess. It sounds like you're in the trenches. This is a guy. John used to be a legitimate newsman, you know. Let me tell you, Mr. Kane, it has been an honor to have you here today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And thank you for letting me state my case, Howard.
Is there anything you'd like to say? I'm not asking any specific questions.
I think that, he had to drop out of the race, suspend his campaign, and I don't really think that he had a chance to say everything that he wants to say.
If I may, I'd like to give you a forum now. Is there one statement you can leave us with before you leave today?
Absolutely.
Right.
Howard, my campaign does continue. Howard, I started a website, thecanesolutions.com. There, I list my ideas, proposals, and plans to make this country great again.
Yes.
And at the top of my list, get Robin topless.
T-O-P-L-E-S.
Ophelia.
Well,
yum, yum.
Robin, that's got to be pretty heady stuff for you. This guy was almost the Republican nominee.
Pretty amazing, yeah.
That's right, Toke, you say you're a Herman Cain fan, right?
Yes, if I knew that Herman Cain was this funny, I would have backed him the whole way.
You're now a fan.
Now you're a fan. You know, Mr.
I'm
Cain.
a fan now.
You can still donate to my campaign.
Toke does make a good point. Today, you're showing yourself to be a fun guy.
Yes, sir.
You're open and honest.
Yes,
does the campaign, in a way, force you to be something you're not?
It does, Howard. It makes me think of things that I don't otherwise think of, so that when I do think of them, they are thoughts, but not necessarily well thought out.
Right. And, I think a lot of people can learn from you.
And I think Robin should give him some.
Now,
Could you convince Robin? Can you say something?
You'd have to be very
absolutely.
persuasive.
It's clear you want to go out with her.
There are some things. Robin, when I hear you speak, I get a raging hot on. So come on, Robin. Are you ready to raise a little cane?
Wow.
How's that? I think I'm winning her over, Howard.
You are winning her over.
Robin, just for me. Do
these lines really work?
Don't you want to raise a little cane, Robin? Come on.
Just for me, Robin.
What?
Just say, "Oh, Herman, it feels so good." Oh, yeah.
You're one of those guys who sometimes I hear you talk about yourself. You call yourself Herman Cain. I mean, you talk in the third person.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because
is that effective?
Herman Cain believes that Herman Cain's effectiveness is based upon Herman Cain's ability to connect with Herman Cain's public.
Right.
So in conclusion to this particular statement, I would like to say that Herman Cain is one fine individual who you will look for on the next ticket, because Herman Cain draws people and people love Herman.
All right. Well, I don't know what your future is going to be, but wish you the best. I mean, I don't like the shenanigans with the women.
Why?
Well, because listen, you can't you can't go around harassing people. You understand? Although you're doing a great job of it today with Robin.
Is it harassment when I'm offering cash?
Wow.
No.
At that point, isn't it business, Howard?
Yeah.
And isn't this country based on capitalism?
Absolutely. And you love it.
Cash for service, service for cash.
You love Robin, and that's what I love.
Robin.
And I love Robin too. That we agree on. Agree on.
Where is the door to that glass booth?
Nobody point that out.
I would like to get right up next to that glass booth right now and do a scene from Midnight Express.
Well, Robin, you've always charmed every one of our guests.
I guess. I had no idea.
And you've done it again.
Herman Cain, 2016.
2016. Make your check out now, brother.
All right. Thank you, Toke.
All right.
Mr. Cain, thank you again.
I'm sure you're very busy trying to avoid your wife.
Yes, I have to hop on a plane as soon as I get out of here because I can tell she's close by.
And, you got a lot of explaining to do to your wife.
It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
But you know what, Howard? Chicks dig me.
They do, evidently.
You can talk her down, right?
You can say whatever you want. Chicks dig me, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they like my message. It's clear, it's concise, and I'm packing in my pants.
Right. It's 999 is your message.
999. I got it, baby.
I think it's referring to inches.
Yes.
Yeah.
9 inches, 9 inches. That's 9 inches long, 9 inches around.
Right.
And the other one is just a pizza because you get hungry after all that fucking. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Well, let me tell you something. It's been an honor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming in here. I'm getting to know you a lot better.
If I do become president,
yes,
you know who I'll ask for vice president.
You're only suspended, huh?
I only suspended my campaign.
Who will be the vice president?
First of all, let me tell you who the first lady will be.
Yes.
Robin Ophelia. The first lady of the United States. Robin Ophelia. And you will be my vice president.
One thing I know is Robin always tried to work her name Ophelia into, and you say it and you love the name Ophelia.
I'm ready to drop it.
You don't like it? Creeps you out?
It's not only a name, it's a command.
Ophelia.
Ophelia. Oh, it's getting hot in here. I do declare, these lights, or is it just...
By the way, coming up next, Joe Paterno to profess his love to Robin.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, and Jim Sandusky for his love for Robin's nephew.
Right. Well, you have really charmed everyone.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here. And I do
you
hope
answered
I come
some
back
tough
again.
questions. Yes, absolutely. And you've answered a lot of tough questions.
And I hope I put to rest the concept of me beating around the bush or not being well informed. You understand?
Right. No, you seem to really be up on the issues.
I say bring our boys out. Get those troops out of Greenland.
We're not in Greenland.
So,
Well, let me tell you something. I know you're joking about that, but you've said a lot of...
he's joking.
I think you're joking. You've said a lot of very intelligent things.
Thank you,
especially about Robin.
They are from the heart.
Right. And I like that you're faithful to Robin, at least.
Absolutely. I only wish that when I was in charge of Taco Bell that I could have had
Taco
a chance.
Bell?
I wanted a chance with Robin's Taco.
Oh, you work for...
Bell.
I thought it was Godfather.
I think you're joking, right?
I'm kidding. You know that I'm only kidding.
I see.
Hardly. What I wouldn't do to you, baby.
Of all the pizza pies you made, has there ever been a pizza pie as beautiful as Robin?
No, there has never been one as beautiful as Robin. I want to get the toppings of those gorgeous black boobies right on top of that pizza.
Right.
No beverage necessary.
All right. Well, listen, you are a great man to come in here and try to seduce
most
Robin.
people would run and hide.
Right.
What's been going on with you?
Hardly. I thought I was clear with all my policies, and I was absolutely upfront with all my extracurricular marital.
You were the front runner. The problem is they started looking into you and they ruined you.
Who knew?
Yeah.
I would have thought that they would just say, "Oh, well, here comes an aspirat man. Make him president."
I figured, you had written a book, you got on there, and you said you're running for president. Nobody expected you to even get 1% of the vote, and all of a sudden you became the front runner, and that fucked you up. You never expected that.
I never expected that.
Right.
I knew I was going to do well.
Right.
But I didn't think I would win out this early. You know that Mitt Romney, he was nervous, and Gingrich, he was nervous. They were all nervous for me because people liked what I was saying.
Right.
Educate the youngsters so that they can realize how stupid they are.
Right.
That's my message, Howard.
It's a good message, I'll
Thank
tell you
you.
that. I'm the biggest idiot on the planet, and I believe that. All right, Robin. Well, there's your new boyfriend, Herman Cain.
Yes, I'm glad he's very busy.
Are you turned on by Mr. Cain at all? Any of the things he said? I mean, sexually?
No.
No.
Be honest. Later on at night, we both know that when you are alone in your bed, you're going to reach for your favorite vegetable and go, "Oh, Herman."
You think she's going to name her carrot Herman?
I think, with all due respect to me, Howard, an English cucumber.
Right.
Did you know that if you looked inside my pants, you would see who dresses me? Banana Republic.
Wow.
And I would like to have my moment in the sun with my Nubian princess.
Can we get him out of here?
Yeah, he just won't stop. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Cain. Pleasure to see you, and thank you for coming by. And let's take a break. Everyone's heard a lot, and everyone's reeling from this.
Let's calm down.
And we'll be back right after these words. And thank you to Mr. Herman Cain. I know you're very big. Where are you going now? You have somewhere to be, right?
I will be stalking Robin's apartment.
Right. You're going over to Robin's apartment right now.
Oh, feel it.
Pittsburgh Pete. I know Pete.
Yeah, Howard, thinking about you again. You're in your 50s.
Right, I'm 55, Pete, and in January 12th, I will be 56 years old, and I can't even imagine it.
Yeah, you're on your way up to close to Ronnie's age. He's going to be 60. And
well, let's not rush me up to 60 yet, but...
it takes a couple of years to get there.
Yeah, give me a break.
He has a full term of college before he's 60.
Right, it's a lifetime.
I'm 30 years old now, so you're 50. You're 56.
5.
So what is it like in your 50s? That's what I want to know. Like, are you enjoying your life still?
Pete, I am enjoying my life from the sense that I'm very, very happily married. I enjoy my weekends and time off, and I'm enjoying work more than ever. So it's a great place to be. My kids are older, which is kind of nice. They're doing well. I'm happy to see that. I'm out of the woods in the sense that, you wonder when you have kids, gee, are they going to grow up to be good kids? Are they going to be normal? Are they going to give you a hard time?
What kind of adults are these going to be?
So I feel out of the woods. I think they're good kids. They're nice kids. And I love them. And the thing is, so that's a good place to be. I wouldn't want to go back into my 30s or 20s and start over professionally. I like where I'm at in terms of a radio performer. I know how to get behind a mic and do a show and all of that. So all that's good. Listen, I came to a conclusion a long time ago about radio specifically, that the person who doesn't grow or change is dull and remains dull and will never ever succeed. You constantly have to evolve and change. And I don't mean just from like whether or not you play the dating game on the air. I mean your whole lifestyle, your opinions, your view of the world has to evolve, or else it's a dead issue. You're done
at a certain point. You're acting if your life is changing, but your character isn't.
And I know I get criticized. Some people love the Billy West years. Some people love the Jackie years. Some people love the Artie years. Some people love this. They love when I did the Channel 9 shows. But I've always tried to just give you me honestly, and that's the same. And this is what it is. This is what it is. And when people get tired of it, if I sense that my audience is done with me, I will leave.
That will never happen.
Well, there you go, Pete. I like your optimism.
You know, that's never going to happen. There's nothing else out there that's really going to captivate people like your show has.
You know why I'm good on the radio, too? I was thinking about me the other day. Most of my day, I think about me.
That's a surprise. You were thinking about you?
99% of the time, I think about me. And then the other 1% is the rest of you. So I was thinking about my radio career. I was reflecting on it. And it was hard not to, because everywhere in my office is a piece of memorabilia about my career.
You've gotten it to the point where
That's
you
right.
can't not think about it.
I fully embrace myself. I never used to, but now I do. Every award, everything is surrounding me.
Like a museum.
It's a museum to me.
The Hall of Howard.
Hall of Howard. Radio Hall of Fame. Because believe me, what else is there? And so I was thinking about me, and the reason I'm good on the radio is A, it's a certain ability, certain talent. That's one thing you got to have. B, there's 4 things you got to have. B, what was A again?
A was that you got to have a certain talent.
You got to have a certain ability. B, you got to be...
What is that certain ability? You didn't have it when you first started.
Well, no, it's a certain sensibility about the world, a certain sense of humor, a certain understanding about how to tell a story.
It was in him, though.
It was in me. Yeah. I mean...
Okay, well, what you're saying then
is...
is...
your family and the way you're raised.
You had I don't know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that many times I'd be sitting around my family and we had to tell a story.
Yeah.
And my father would say to me, "Stop. It's boring." Now, these were harsh words, but they
fixed you right.
They fixed me. They made me nuts. They made me neurotic. It was mean, but nevertheless, they go, edit yourself. Most parents today listen and indulge every word a kid says. And quite frankly, they're healthier, but they're big bores. You hear some of my callers; they can't even. They do a wind up for 15 minutes.
Yeah, they can't even get into the story.
They're bores because they've been overindulged and they've been told that everything they say is brilliant.
So what I'm just trying to decipher here is it still is something you learned. It wasn't an innate ability. You say your parents molded you.
Yes, that's true.
I agree.
Well, not just your parents. It's just but there also is it's like a great musician. They have a musical ability. Yes, they had to sit in their room and learn the guitar, let's say, Eddie Van Halen. But there's a certain ear they have and a certain ability to understand music. There is a talent there.
Okay, so then it's 2 separate things.
That's right. It's a physical sort of gift you're born with. B, it's also the way you're raised. That gift could remain dormant. Like if Eddie Van Halen hadn't had certain surroundings, if he hadn't had certain influences in terms of music, it might never have emerged. He might not have felt comfortable enough to encourage that. So it's partly environmental. It's partly sort of what you're born with. A certain ability to speak.
So you had a certain awareness of the world and a sensitivity and a sensibility toward information and outside events.
For example, my father was in radio. He was an engineer, but I was exposed to this idea of the microphone, people speaking into it. He was also a recording engineer. He had a recording studio.
So that was instrumental.
That's part of it, yes. Instrumental is an okay word to use. That's fine.
You would not have been on the radio without that, is what you're saying.
It's one of the components. That's right. Now, also...
The stars aligned, Howard. It might have been from God. You have to give God a little credit once in a while.
Well, yeah, that's what I call the thing that you're born with. This ability to look at the world and say, Mad Magazine's got the right idea. There's satire there. You have to have a sense of humor and appreciation. Sense of humor has to be cultivated by your environment, but also you have to have that ability. It's sort of an ability somewhere inside of you.
Yeah, now there's another thing. Where does sense of humor come from?
Well, as Pete puts it, if you believe in God, or if you believe in the universe, nature, whatever it is, or the genetic sort of soup that we come from, it's just sort of something that's there. Like Beethoven had his musical thing, and it came out early.
That's how Artie made it to the point where he's at now.
Well, hold on. We'll get to Artie. Artie's a whole nother case. Artie defies all this.
I also think it has to do with the atmosphere. It's a combination of being born with it and the atmosphere you grow up in that develops.
That's correct. Now, the third component, which is essential in any success story. Now, I don't care what you apply this to. Pete, what do you want to be in life?
What do I want to be in life? I'm not even sure at this point.
All right, okay.
Well, we were specifically talking about you. You said you were thinking about
But
you.
here is the other.
And these 4 things.
Here is the essential component. You talked about the essential component. Here's the third thing is the essential component. And that is, I want to see who's paying attention at this point.
He's making it up right now.
No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you what it is.
All right.
It is having the ability to practice. Now, what do I mean by this?
Oh, you read this in a book a few
Outliers.
weeks ago.
I read some of Outliers, and I responded to it, but some of this is my own thoughts all along. Outliers says 10,000 hours are required to be an expert. Now, I've never added up the hours, but the hours of me watching television, listening to Brad Crandall on the radio, putting this together, seeing my father, and then actually having the time to develop this. WRNW, I was working a 6-hour shift, 6 days a week. And I got hours and hours of practice in college. I go down to the college radio station and start to practice. I started to practice all over the country what it is I wanted to do. Now, it's no different than when you talk to a guitar player who spent his entire childhood playing the guitar in his room over and over and over again. There are guys who have done that and never succeeded. They're okay guitar players. But the ones who have this, as I say, born talent, it comes out. But they have to put in the hours of practice.
Well, there are different levels of this born talent.
That's right.
Even the guy who doesn't play as well as Eddie Van Halen has a born musical talent.
That's right.
He's better than me at picking up a guitar.
Howard, you completed all the requirements that it took to get to where you're at.
Yes, but you didn't even
But
hear
wait a minute,
you
you
didn't hear
didn't
the
hear
fourth
number
requirement.
4.
You don't know what the fourth requirement is. I told you, thousands of hours
This guy will
practice.
never complete anything.
Well, he wants to be a professional pot
I have
smoker.
ADHD.
His ADD. He wants to be a professional marijuana user.
He wants Adderall.
Right. He's on his way to his 10,000 hours of practice.
He's on his way to 10,000
But Pete,
Adderall.
the fourth thing, and I think this is very, very important, is being born in the right time frame. Now, this is something from Outliers, and this is a key component. When you hear about Bill Gates, who is a huge success, Bill Gates, if you go through his history, actually was born at a time where he had available to him as a kid, because his parents were into some sort of computer science. They knew a guy who could, back then you couldn't even get into a computer lab or get on a computer. When he was born, somehow the circumstances led up to he was allowed free hours, endless free hours in a computer lab where he got to work this stuff out. Him and his friends were like into this thing like crazy. If they physically couldn't get the computer time as children, in other words, he had a certain privilege that you don't have, I don't have. He was in the right place. I had a certain privilege. I got to see my father work with these guys with the microphone. I got to visit the radio station, WHOM. I got to watch the guys work. I was mesmerized. I was mesmerized by this. I got to see something a lot of people didn't get to see. This Bill Gates, when they describe him, he got to do this in a lab. No one did. He got. It was too expensive for people at that time.
Right, because computers were huge things. They didn't fit in people's homes.
Yeah, and I don't know the terminology of what it was he got for free, but it's a certain access to programming that you could only get programming time for an hour, and it was a fortune.
And you wouldn't waste this on a kid.
Right. He was allowed to go in there at night and use it all night and day. And that's what led to it. So it's part luck.
Well, let me ask you something.
Being born at the right time, and part having an ability.
What about these people who are born with nothing?
Well, people who are born with nothing, It appears that they're born with nothing, but it's not always the case. Now, let me give you an example. You sit and you look at professional hockey players. That's what they do in the book Outliers. And the guy points out, he says, everyone in Canada, for Canada's a huge hockey place. And they say, well, why did this guy become a pro? He didn't have anything more than anybody else. Maybe he had some talent, this and that. But it was the mere fact that they were born either January, February, or March. Now, you would never pick up on this, but here's what happens. In the school system, it's a full year. The kids who are born January, February, March are physically bigger. There's huge differences in physicality. You're almost a year
Just
older.
From January, February, March?
You're almost
I
a
see
year
what you're saying.
older than someone born in December. And what would happen in hockey, for example, kids would go to school and the coaches would look for some star players.
And they take the bigger kids.
The bigger kids and also the kids who were older. They were a little more mature. They could understand a little better. They did better in school. They've even found that kids born January, February, March, because they're that almost a year older, they do better in school in the beginning. They get more attention from teachers. Therefore, they thrive a little more, get a little more encouragement, are noticed more, and they actually do better at certain things. But the hockey example is one where you are physically bigger. Now, they did find some hockey players who excelled who were born in, let's say, later months. But the majority, the Canadian hockey players, because of the system and the public school system, January, February, March, I think it was something like 70%.
Yeah, but they at least had a hockey system. I'm talking about somebody who winds up
what I'm saying
being
is,
the president of South Africa, born in, what did Nelson Mandela have?
Well, what I'm saying is we don't know that because I don't know the history of Nelson Mandela, but there could be something as simple, Robin, as the day he was born. Because who would pick up on that with hockey?
Know if, the day he was born was very healthy.
I said not that, but there are circumstances that lead to somebody becoming great.
Or Dikembe Mutombo, whatever his name is. He was in Africa, and they found him. What in the world?
He was 8'2", Robin.
Yeah, but you still got to go find him. He didn't get here on his own.
Anyway,
it was like
that is why it is difficult to even pluck anyone out and say, here's a radio show. Or here's a TV show. It takes, like we were talking yesterday, they took David Lee Roth, a rock star, a guy who had spent his years practicing that and obviously excelled.
He's a good rock star.
That's right. And they said, go on the radio. Go do a radio show. Well, of course it was destined to fail. We all knew it. For some reason, the radio executives didn't know it.
Yeah, there were tons of people who didn't know it,
right.
Howard, and they had power, and they put him there.
They did. But we all knew it. My audience knew it. You knew it. I knew it.
It would have been like you touring as lead singer of Van Halen.
Exactly. It's funny that David Lee Roth didn't know it. It's funny. I remember interviewing David Lee Roth. I invited him in to say, "Hey, David's going to take over our morning show," and I remember he walked in with kind of a swagger, and I remember why. I think he was on edge. I think he was thinking that I was going to put him down and and ridicule him for taking over our show, and I didn't. I was just the opposite. Every time he sort of got a little confrontational with me, I showered him with love, really. Right. I said, "Hey, David, I wish you the best." And I think it took him like into
by
surprise. Yes, it took he was like, "Whoa."
He was defensive.
He was defensive that day. He really was. I remember it very well. And I don't think I'm projecting that. I think he really was.
Oh no, it was absolutely true.
Yeah, and and I was just, and then when I was just saying to him, "Hey, I really wish you the best and hope you do well," but and then he kind of in his arrogance said to me, and this is David, in typical David, he says to me, "Man, I'm used to speaking in front of audiences as big as 300,000 people. You think this is something to me? This isn't a big deal to me. I've been doing this my whole life." And
no, that's not what he said exactly. What he said was, "This is the greatest opportunity for me because in a stadium, I could only speak to that many people.
Right.
Now I'm going to get to speak to all these millions of people." And you quietly pointed out that who said there are going to be millions for you.
Yeah, and I tried to say to him that day that you don't just automatically yes, millions of people show up to see Van Halen.
Yeah.
This is different. This is you. You're out there. You have a microphone. It's blank space. It's a canvas. And you've got to fill it with something entertaining that your audience will find compelling. And I knew this was a daunting task. I mean, this is not something easily done.
That people would show up for him talking.
Right. And they'd given him a couple of practice shows in Boston, and I guess someone had heard this stuff. And really, David was not prepared. The guy would have needed his, as they say in Outliers, 10,000 hours of practice, really. And who even knows if he has that talent anyway? He didn't. Who knows if he had one of the 4 requirements?
The show was okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everyone has a story to tell. I could listen to someone on the radio and tell them what they need to do.
But can they do it? That's the other thing. It's a matter of, can you actually do it?
When I hear someone on the radio, I go, oh, here's how you fix that. But then I go, well, if they're not going to hear that, how are they ever going to fix it?
And you would feel that way towards everybody. That's the thing. You would put your mind beliefs above everybody else's in the world.
What?
In radio, yes. In radio, I believe I'm as good as it gets. That's how I really do believe. And I'm not saying it from arrogance. I'm not saying it out of any sort of pompous notion. I don't feel about that way about anything in my life. I go to a psychiatrist 3 times a week and I go, I don't even know how to be. I don't even know how to be a human being.
You don't know how to be you.
I don't even know how to exist. It's pathetic in there. I mean, it really is. You would think that I was an entire mess. But nevertheless, when it comes to this, radio, I mean, I'm as competent and as I am the Beethoven of radio.
Well, I said it early on. I couldn't understand how other people couldn't see how much you knew. And when they were, when we first started, when we were at DC 101, and they would sit in the room and they'd start trying to tell you things, I was like, don't they realize he's the smartest person in this room?
Well, you know what?
Don't they know they should be listening to him?
It led to a lot of frustration. It really did on my part.
Oh, I'm sure.
I would go home and sit there and go, why do I would visualize the whole thing, and I'd say, why don't they get this? Why don't they let me loose? I don't get it. I mean, when Pig Virus and Dom Fioravanti and
they were the worst.
And
John Hayes.
John
that was
Hayes.
another one.
I mean, all of them. I sat there in a room and I said, this is like it would be as if Eddie Van Halen had to get guitar lessons from me. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Can you imagine people trying to tell Einstein what he should be doing?
Here's what you ought to do with that brain of yours.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that annoying to me. And I don't have this ability at anything else. It's this. I get this. I know what to do with this. Give me a fucking microphone. Give me a room full of my crew. And let the symphony begin.
And that's what Sirius Satellite Radio has been to you, Howard. It's the pinnacle of your career.
I'll tell you why.
You're respected, and you have the power there. You don't got to...
I know, I'm not respected. There's still people who don't believe I know what I'm talking about. Believe it or not.
Who?
I don't have to say names. They still think they know better than me. But I'm going to tell you something. One thing about here, I get more respect, and there's another thing I get. For the most part, I'm left alone, and this is the smartest thing you can do. Every time certain people poke their nose into this and start to mess around with my people, and I hate to be cryptic, but when they start to mess with my people, when they start to offer them jobs, when they start to tell them how to do their job, it is as I look at them as flies who have no conception of what is going on. And I look at them and I go, how dare you question what I don't even mind questioning. Questioning's good. But for God's sakes, what makes you think you know better than we do? Don't come in here and inflict your pain on us. Sure, listen, I'm not above criticism. I know there are things I do that are very boring on the radio. This might be boring on the radio. for the most part, we're able to hit some home runs out of the park.
And stay around.
And stay around for the
There'll
party.
be one today.
That's right. Right now, there might not be a home run, but there will be one later. I can almost guarantee it.
You can't hit one every time.
Right.
Look, there are no slumps here.
That's right. We come in to do a show. And so, the reason I flourish here is, number one, they have an understanding to leave me alone. And by leave me alone, they're smart about it. They say, listen, we think you know what you're doing.
Here's a tough question. What sense does it make to not promote that you're going to come back to Sirius for no matter how long it is? So people can resubscribe, new people will join on, they're secure that you're going to be there. And we know you know this already.
I don't know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, why wouldn't you tell everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be around here. The radio show is going to continue.
Because I don't know that that's true. And I'm not going to lie to my audience.
He's claiming you know this already.
No, I don't know. I had a conversation. I had 5 conversations this weekend with my agent
5
about this. Yeah, because he claims I'm unavailable to talk to him. I go, it's just the opposite, Don. He's the one that's not in the office on Friday and Monday.
Oh, my God. You can't find him.
I said, listen, I call you as soon as you call me. So we made an appointment to talk, and we got into some really good conversation. And we had like 5 conversations about this very topic. Mm-hmm. And, I do know what I want to do. I do know, Pete.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Sirius is going to go for it. You know what? If Sirius and I sat down in an easy way and sat down and said, here, let's continue on, it would never be that easy, because there are things that I would like to be able to do, and there are things that I want to go and do, and I don't know that they're going to go for it. I have something in my mind where perhaps we could continue here.
They have to go for it.
They don't.
They don't have to do anything.
They don't have to do anything. Listen.
You created this.
No.
Look.
I did not. It was here before granted, I think they would have gone. I think Sirius would have been out of business had we not gone.
Look, he created a lot of things in radio.
Right.
And they let him go.
Right. And we see what happens when they let me go.
Well, they let you go, but they still let you go.
But they do. Listen, I don't know, Pete, if it'll make sense to the company. And I am a loyal supporter of this company. I love this company. I think satellite radio must stay around. I think it's terrific. And I think it's only going to get better. But the fact of the matter is, and by the way, someone said to me, you know how you say amazing on the radio? Mm-hmm. I say the fact of the matter is way too much. I was criticized for that.
Oh, dear.
But the fact of the matter is that we could possibly be around some more here. But who knows? Pete, if I had the answer and I could tell you, I would give it to you.
Waiting for it.
I don't know that it's going to be so easy to bang out a deal.
Man.
I don't know.
I'll tell you why this show is successful. The fact of the matter is, Robin's amazing.
Well, that's right. That's right. You want to know something? And I'm going to take credit for Robin. Full credit.
Full credit.
Because
you didn't give birth to me. Give somebody
everything
something.
but let me tell you something. My ability to recognize Robin's greatness is what we're talking about.
And your chemistry, absolutely.
That's right.
Well, I recognize the chemistry. Let me take credit for that.
Okay.
Yeah, Robin.
Actually, I take credit for recognizing his genius.
That's right.
Her heart might be broke.
What?
Just not being around Howard every day. That's going to break your heart.
That would break her
some
heart.
people may not realize I was not going to take the job they were offering me until they played a tape of him. And then I said, I'm taking the job just to meet him because he's
that's
incredible.
True. That's true.
And that's when you started wanting him sexually.
That was it.
How many years have you been pining away from me?
Man.
By the way, nobody's taking credit for Benji's contribution.
Oh, Jesus.
No, but that's just the point. Artie being a part of the show, Fred, Benji. These are people that I've chosen to work with, and they've chosen to work with me. And these are all good people, and that's part of it, too. You can't just have some schlubs.
Yeah, don't worry about them, Mo. That's not your responsibility.
I do. As a matter of fact. Or the fact of the matter is...
That's amazing.
That's right.
You've done enough for them.
I have several lucrative offers. I could be on The Real Housewives of Orange County as a fake husband.
There you go.
Fred has a lot of money saved.
Who knows what Fred's up to? No one knows with Fred. How you doing over there, Fred?
I'm doing fine.
Let's get off of this topic and move on to something. How are you?
I think
Is
it's
it
pretty
time to
good
check in with Fred?
that you talk about. I think people should be fascinated about what it takes to become a guy at the top.
That's right.
But not everybody has the ability, so why listen?
I don't know. Maybe
They'll just be disappointed in
Maybe
themselves.
someone will be inspired because you're right. Not everybody can do what you do.
Practice.
But practice doesn't do it for everyone.
I told you that's only one component.
But I think you also have to love it. I mean, there's one thing that when you hear Howard speak about radio, you hear a passion in his voice.
I don't love it.
I think you do.
Look,
I think
Andre Agassi
Fred,
didn't
that
love
wasn't one of the
tennis. He was
components.
really
You're
good
lying
at
to
it.
me.
No, I don't love it.
When you said you were 5 years old, you dreamed of being on the radio.
Yes, but I didn't love it. There was a lot of pressure in my life. I didn't love it. And that's part of it, too.
You must love it because in spite of that pressure, you
People
come
who are
here
great-
every day, you did what you did.
No.
Well, if he says he doesn't love it, why are you arguing
He
with
wants
him?
Because I don't think he's aware of it. I don't think he's aware of his love for radio.
Do I love radio?
Hold on, let me find No. I think you're full
Do
of
I
shit.
what?
I think you love it.
For 25 years, I've sat over here, talked in the mic, played with these pots. What are you talking? I'm here every day. But do you love radio? Do I what? Do you love radio? For 30 years, I write the bits.
30 years.
Lay in bed and think of shit to say. Get up in the morning, eat my egg whites.
Yeah.
Talk to Benji and Fred. Do I love it? Do I love radio?
Not at 5:59 a.m., that's for sure.
I've been going to sleep at 8 o'clock. Watching TV and going to bed. Not fucking Beth, making sure I get to sleep. And you ask me, do I love it? What kind of question is this? But do you love it? Do I love radio? All right, thanks, Pete. Good to speak to you.
I'm really excited to be down here on the Stern Show. We're going to talk about my book today, hang out a little bit, and shoot the shit with Howard.
So you excited to be on?
Oh, yeah. It's
Big fan?
fantastic. I listen to him all the time. He is the king of satellite radio,
I'm excited. Don Felder's here. He just wrote a book about what it's like to be in the Eagles and then get your ass kicked out of there. Yeah. That's got to be a come down. Pretty amazing story, actually, and I'm very curious about it. There's the guy right there.
Yep, there he is.
There he is. That's the guy. In person. How you doing,
But
man?
maybe it's good to be able to get the Eagles money without having to be an Eagle.
Hey, that's the idea.
There you go. Now
It's
you're
a
talking.
wonderful thing.
Now you're talking.
It's a lovely, lovely thing.
Well, a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you, too. I was actually doing a radio interview up in Calgary a couple of weeks ago with a guy that's a huge kind of radio talk show host up there.
Right.
And he says, when you see Howard, tell him he is definitely the king of
that's
satellite
nice.
radio.
That's nice.
And
What's
you
that
are.
guy's name? Do you even
His
remember?
name is Dave Rutherford.
Dave. Well, thanks, Dave. That's nice to say.
Yeah, absolutely right. So,
you know, the one thing before we get into the outrageous history of you and the Eagles, I love that video. They show it still on VH1 every once in a while, where of course it's the live Hotel California, and you and Joe Walsh are standing there like rock gods.
Sure.
And you're playing that duet, you know, the instrumental part, and you kind of lean into Joe during that, and you tell him something that cracks him up during it because he starts laughing. And I always love when musicians talk to each other on stage. It's kind of cool.
You wonder what they're talking about.
I've heard you reveal this, but maybe now you'll do that for my audience. What do you lean in and say to Joe Walsh to cause him to laugh during Hotel California?
Back in those days, we used to do a lot of drugs, and people would walk around with reminiscence glistening on the tips of their nose. And so, if you had that on your face, somebody would say, "Hey, you're showing."
Right.
So we're in the middle of filming this. This is pre-VH1 and pre-MTV, and we're actually filming this so we can send it over to Japan and Europe and whatnot, so people can see what this is about, which was the way you promoted stuff before you got on MTV.
Sure.
So in the middle of filming this, I just lean over to Joe in the middle of that solo and go, "You're showing."
He had a big Coke booger, didn't he?
He did.
He did.
He didn't really. It was just a joke.
And Joe laughs, of course. So
Joe.
there is the secret. There it is. That is what is revealed.
You know, that story's cooler than I thought it would be. That's great.
Artie needs Coke now. You were a member of the Eagles from 74 to 80, and I didn't even realize you weren't an original member of the Eagles. They brought you in to, I think, kind of rock things up and cool it up a little bit, because the Eagles were more like a country band almost, and then they brought you in, right? You were the guy they figured could make them rock and roll.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, they were playing, Take It Easy and Peaceful Easy Feeling and those sort of songs.
Yeah.
Great songs, but really kind of country oriented. And AM radio in the 70s, you had to have a special format. It had to be 3 minutes long. You had to have an intro that was under 30 seconds so the DJs didn't have a long time to talk before the singing started. And everything that was on the radio was either rock and roll or R&B.
So it was very calculated on the part of the Eagles. And when I say the part of the Eagles, I mean, Frey and Henley.
Fry and Henley.
It was really sort of brilliant on their part to say, we need a guy who can make us even more acceptable to the rock and roll world. It'll make us a bigger band.
That's exactly
So it was
right.
smart to bring you in.
Now, how did they find you? I mean, why you?
Hey, why you and not
I keep
me?
asking myself that question every day. Why me?
Why you?
Well, one of the guys that was in the band, original member, was a guy named Bernie Ledden, and he was a brilliant guitar player. If you listen to the first couple of records, he was a brilliant bluegrass and electric country music guitar player.
Right.
And Bernie and I were actually high school friends when we were 15 and 16 and had a band together in Gainesville, Florida, where we grew up.
Right.
And Bernie left Gainesville and moved back to California and was in the Flying Burrito Brothers and a few other bands, and finally wound up in the Eagles. And so when he would come around to different cities that I was in, we'd get together and I'd go backstage and hang out and play with them and just say hello.
Right.
And I wound up seeing them in Boston, I think at Boston University or something, in 71 when they were opening for the Yes.
Right.
So they were just starting out at the time. I went back and saw Bernie and my buddy and hung out, and we played backstage, and Glenn and everybody was there and kind of saw me and went, wow, that's great. And Bernie kept calling me to get me to move out to L.A. He said, the music business isn't happening in New York. It's not in Boston. It's in California. And in those days, in the 70s, it really was. That was the California sound. So eventually I took his advice and moved out to L.A. in my U-Haul trailer and my 65 Volvo, and got a couple of jobs out there working for Crosby Nash, being Stephen Stills, playing.
So you were really connected. I mean, you knew a lot of guys. You knew Crosby, you knew Nash, you knew you knew a lot of the big acts, right?
I did. It was funny before I met Bernie, the guy that was in my band in Gainesville was Stephen Stills. When we were 14 and 15 years old, we had a little band
How did
together.
you know Stephen Stills? I mean, I think he's a genius, Stephen Stills. Am I right on that?
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
You met him when you were 14, and didn't you hang out with the Allman Brothers when you were a kid? How do you know all these
Where
guys?
were you? You're like the Zelig of music.
I was in the shittiest part of town.
Nobody was where you were.
No one hung out where I was.
Well, it was Gainesville, Florida. I don't know if there was something in the water or what we were smoking in those days, but everybody kind of wound up being friends together.
Isn't Tom Petty from there?
Yeah, he was one of my guitar students. I taught him early on.
Wow.
You taught Tom Petty how to play guitar?
Yeah.
Does he thank you every day for that?
Well, I think he mentions it in his articles now, and that was so funny.
Every time he gets laid, he should thank you. I mean, come on. Another brilliant guy that you hung out with. Wow. You taught Tom Petty how to play guitar. You mean he took guitar lessons from you?
He took guitar lessons
from you. He paid you to teach him how to...
exactly.
No kidding. Was he a brilliant student? Did you say to yourself, geez, this is some kid?
No, he wasn't a great guitar player, but he was fantastic on stage. He had this charisma. He had this long, straight blonde hair, and he'd flip his hair and shake his hair.
Yeah, but did you ever say to yourself, here you were, I guess you're older than him, that you were his guitar teacher.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Did you ever say to yourself, gee, maybe I ought to hook up with this kid and start a band with him?
No, I had my own band. I was working with Stills. He was a couple of years younger than me, so, you know, he was still a skinny, kind of buck teeth, scraggly hair,
Wow.
Well, now that I think about it, he still looks like that.
I was going to say, you're describing him now.
I mean, how much did you charge Tom Petty for a guitar
I think
lesson?
it was $3 an hour.
$3 an hour.
But I didn't.
Charge
I was
more.
working
I was
at
going to
this.
say, what do you charge today? I mean, inflation.
I was working at this music store, and I didn't really get paid cash. I got paid credit on this store account, and I would save up my money so I could buy strings or chords or a guitar or something like that.
Did you ever imagine that you would be something bigger than a guitar teacher? I mean, it's such a lucky business, right?
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's crazy.
I've been so blessed to be able to come from such humble means where I grew up on a little dirt road in the Palmetto fields of North Florida.
Imagine if you said to Tom Petty when you would teach him, you said, listen, schmuck, I'm not going to charge you. You just give me 1% of your career if you ever take one.
I should send him that. Say, you know, I'm entitled a percentage of what you make because I started you off.
How many years did you teach him?
Well, I was there for about 1.5 years or 2 years in town before I left.
No kidding.
Yeah, once Bernie left, I put together another band and actually moved to New York and worked here in New York. Lived down on Horatio Street when it was actually the meatpacking district before it was so cool.
Did you have credentials as a guitar teacher? In other words, were you're able to read music and you're able?
I taught myself.
You taught yourself all that.
I exchanged lessons in this other school of music. This guy named Paul Hillis had gone to the Berklee College of Music and came back to Gainesville and opened this little music school. And so he taught me to read, taught me music theory, composition, and that sort of stuff. So every hour that I would teach his guitar students, he would teach me music and theory. So it was because I had no money. I couldn't pay for anything.
Of course not. You were hanging out with Stills, and you were hanging out with these guys, Allman Brothers, all these guys.
Yeah.
And yet, the Eagles are the ones that figure out, let's put this guy in our band.
Sure.
I mean, this is the guy.
Yeah.
And they figured that out. Why? What had you done that was so remarkable to them that said, man, this is the guy that can make us go to the next level?
Well, every time they would be at rehearsal out in L.A. when I was in town, if I wasn't out on the road working with somebody, I would go in and just hang out at their rehearsals, sit in and jam with them and play with them. And
so you helped them write music?
No, I didn't help them write music then. We would just jam. Just jam. Kick around and have a good time and kind of get off.
This guy's got the right vibe for us.
Yeah, and we were exciting, and, you know, it was just fun.
And they offer you a full partnership in the Eagles.
That's
in other
correct.
Words, you were a full partner. When I say that, some bands, let's say, have one or two guys who write the songs and stuff, and then they have members who don't get a full partnership. They get paid well, but they're employees.
Correct.
But you were a full working partner.
Yeah.
Like you signed a contract with them. And
That's
you say,
right.
Look, I'm a full-fledged member. If they hadn't made you a full-fledged member, would you have backed out and said, this is probably not for me?
Well, no, at the time I received the offer to come in and play on this session, I just went in to play with a bunch of friends of mine in the studio, and I played slide guitar on this song called Good Day in Hell.
Right.
And I got a call the next day asking me to join the band. And I, at the time, was actually being Stephen Stills with Crosby Nash. I was playing Stephen's parts, ironically enough, with that band. And my wife was pregnant with our first kid. And
so you were a married man with a pregnant wife, and things were about to really change in your life. You're about to be a member of the Eagles.
Yeah.
Did you go berserk when you became an Eagle? Did you cheat on your wife? Did you have multiple sex partners? Did you constantly bang?
They gave him those with the contract.
Yeah, that all came with the territory. You know? Yes,
really? Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. You know, I was raised, like I said, in very humble means in the South. I was dragged into church, into Sunday school from the time I was old enough to remember, with my mother, and had a really religious upbringing. And then when I joined the Eagles, I was drugged into sin and all sorts of promiscuity. My whole life and everything changed.
Did you become a drug addict?
I wasn't addicted to drugs. I did more than my fair share.
What was your thing? Coke?
Coke, yeah, absolutely.
No heroin?
No, I never did heroin.
No,
I didn't like pot a whole lot. No,
just Coke.
Just Coke, and I drank a little Remy Martin to take the edge off, you know. But other than that,
the band was fueled by Coke back then, right?
Everybody was. Yeah, doctors, lawyers, musicians.
Everybody was high.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, you even say in your new book that you hung out with Keith Richards a lot, and you found him. You thought he was dead in a room, right? But then it turned out you saw him on stage that night and he was alive. But you
please tell me he really doesn't take drugs. That's an act.
You literally thought he was dead, right?
Well, yeah. All I saw was a foot sticking out of his bathroom in his bedroom there, and I this kind of pale gray glow about him, and I went, oh no, I hope I haven't been the one that discovered him. You know?
Yeah, you don't want to go down.
Yeah.
What were the circumstances? A party or something, or pre-show?
It was after show, post show. Yeah, and we were in Kansas City. As a matter of fact, we weren't playing with them or opening for them or anything. We just happened to be. They were playing one night in Kansas City Stadium, in the Chiefs Stadium, and then we were playing some other gig, and we wound up being on the same hotel where they had the top floor with all their gorillas as security, and we had our next floor down with our guys. And our road manager, Richard Fernandez, used to know and be friends with their road manager at the time, said, "Hey, you want to go up and meet these guys?" And I went, "Of course, you kidding me?
Rolling Stones.
You bet." I mean, to me, that was a huge honor. This was like, 75, I guess, 76, something like that. And so we went up, and we went walking down this hallway, and the doors to the presidential suite were open at the end of the hallway, and this music was just blaring out of it. Keith used to carry this roll-around studio that had like an old reel tape recorder and an amp and a bunch of cassettes and stuff, and J.B. Lansing monitors in it. So it was just pumping coming out of his thing. And this guitar was laying down on the floor, this electric guitar just going, it was like, just playing itself. And we walked in and I went, that's kind of odd. And we started walking around with the road manager going, Keith, where are you? We walked in the bedroom, and I turned the corner, and there was this foot sticking out of the bathroom, and we were promptly kind of whisked away.
Could you believe you went from being this poor kid to all of a sudden hanging out with Keith Richards and these bands, and you're in a huge band yourself? You must have pinched yourself. I mean, it must have been
weren't huge when you joined them.
No, they weren't. We were just a bunch of kids in ripped jeans and T-shirts. Our gigs, we'd drive rent-a-cars ourselves around, and we'd fly coach in the back, and we played like university campuses, and really until one of these nights, and especially when Hotel California kicked in, is where we really jumped up to stadiums.
And you wrote the song, Hotel California.
Yeah, I wrote a large part of it, yeah.
You wrote the music for it?
I wrote all the music for it, yeah.
You walked in one day and you said to the Eagles, "Hey, I wrote this song, Hotel California." I don't even know if you had a name for it.
Got this music.
What was the riff that was going through your head? Just the...
Well, I just remember that one day I was kind of sitting on this couch in this rental house that I had on the beach in Malibu. My youngest son was playing out in the sand.
Yep.
Kind of the California summer sun was glistening on the water. I had on a pair of cut-off shorts and was just got out of the water, and I was sitting there just playing acoustic guitar, and kind of out came that introduction, and I played it about 4 times, and I went, I've got to go record this before I forget it.
And when you're having that, do you go to yourself, I think this is a huge moment, but
it just sounded like a kind of a nice progression. I went back and recorded it on a tape recorder, and actually I was working on the songs for Hotel California, and I had like 15 or 16 other songs, and so I threw that idea down and went back out and jumped in the water, and then about 4 or 5 days later I came back and started listening to that reel of song ideas, and I went, I'm going to finish that one. That sounds like a good one. And I had an old Roland Rhythm Ace, which was this funky drum machine that piano players used to play in these bars, and it had a cha-cha beat and a samba and all that stuff.
And you hit the drum beat.
I found the closest one to it, and then laid down a bunch of guitars on it and played a bass part on it, and pretty much wrote almost identical what's on the record, the 76 record, with the exception of a few guitar solos on the end. So
why do guys who have a gem like you're writing probably the biggest song the Eagles ever had, why the hell do they get rid of you and throw you out of the band? Now, okay.
Because, it sounds like you were all getting along and enjoying each other at the beginning.
That was the heavenly part. The book
in the beginning
of Heaven and Hell in the book.
When's it go bad? Because when the success hits to Frey and Henley, I know Fry, whatever the fuck his name is. Fry becomes a control freak, right?
Well, what happened is when the band was first joined, even before I was in the band, when it was first formed, everybody had been sidemen behind Linda Ronstadt or behind this person, and when they got together, they said, we're going to be equal partners. We're all going to write songs. Everybody's going to sing 2 songs on the record.
It's communal.
Yeah, it's a band, you know. It's not one guy or 2 guys and a bunch of backup musicians. And it was still going on when I joined the band, and that way we formed this company called Eagles Limited, which was a 5-way partnership that everybody owned a fifth of the band, of the name, the merchandising, the tickets, everything.
Sounds great.
Everybody's driving in the rent-a-cars, everybody's in the studio, everybody's working, everybody gets a
Everything's equal.
Yeah.
Right.
And then as time went by and the main songs that became hits were sung by Henley and Fry, they seemed to feel somewhat more entitled to to a larger share of the proceeds and ownership and control than other people in the band.
And I know from the book that you began to look into this. You would say to the business manager, wait a second. I'm driving around in a shitbox. These guys have limousines taking them everywhere.
Is that what they did? They started doing that kind of thing?
Well, yeah, and guess what? When they're riding around a limousine, guess whose share is
being eaten up?
Being eaten up.
That's right. Yeah,
that's right. So
Well, there's an old adage in Hollywood amongst managers and in the music business that says, "Pay your acts enough money that they don't ask questions."
Right. Right.
And the trouble really started around the end of the '90s when I started asking questions. I was CFO at this company.
Right.
And I was only 1/3 owner with Henley and Fry. Bernie had left and surrendered his shares back to the corporation.
That was smart.
Randy had left and surrendered his shares back to the
What, did they hold a gun to their heads?
No, they wanted to quit. They just wanted out. They wanted, this is awful. I want the hell out of here.
It was awful because those guys have become demons, in your opinion?
Yeah, and controlling and made work and playing music should be like a child at play. It should be fun and exuberant and exciting, and it's hard to be creative.
But, most of us try to imagine this, because being a musician and getting in a big band is so, the odds are so against you that when it happens, you think you could put up with almost anything. I mean, when you describe things were bad, you're talking about even those guys fought with each other, right?
They did, yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you watched the last 60 Minutes interview where they were on 60 Minutes, where Don and Glenn were sitting in this booth together. But wow, it was just difficult to watch them, the anger and tension and frustration and venom that those guys managed to conceal as best they can.
Those two bastards need each other.
Yeah, they do.
And yet they hate each other.
And that is why.
Why do you think they hate each other? What is it? What is the reason? I mean, they seem like two reasonable guys. Why do they hate each other? I mean, they're human beings. I mean, what could be... here's Gary Dell'Abate.
Well, that's why. They're human beings.
An answer, apparently.
Why do they hate each other so much? What is the dislike? What is your answer, Gary?
I read the book, so I think I have a pretty good idea of it. The band started out as 5 equal members, and everybody would write songs and contribute.
Right.
And then it just became Henley and Fry contributing songs, and everybody got less and less. But then it became really obvious that Don Henley is like a machine, like a songwriting machine, and even Fry's songs weren't good enough. And then that became the tension between the two of them.
So then it became...
That is very well said.
Yeah, your book was amazing.
You gleamed a lot from the book.
Yeah, the two stars, then one outshone the other.
Yeah. Did you feel guilty writing the book in the sense that, that's not very rock and roll? Like, okay, you keep your secrets and all your stuff to yourself, and you don't squeal on your brothers, even though they're messed up brothers or anything. Like, it's almost like a family. Did you feel...
Where did that rule get written?
I'm asking. Did you ever have any moments of doubt about writing the book?
No, really. What happened was after in a period of 12 months, I went through a divorce from my wife, which was we'd been together 29 years.
How much pussy were you getting, if I can be crude? I mean, was it crazy?
During your marriage.
That's fairly crude.
We know you can be crude. Don't ask that question.
Tell me, what was going on in your life? I mean, poor you. You're married. You probably said to yourself, "Please, Mr. Penis." I don't know what do you call your penis? I don't know. Everybody.
Mr. Penis.
Mr. Penis.
Mr. Penis. You probably said, "Mr. Penis, please don't lead me to temptation." But it's almost impossible to resist, isn't it? I mean, the world is a candy store.
We had this organization called the Third Encore, which wasn't my idea. I wasn't in charge of it or anything. We used to go out and do our shows. We'd do 2 encores, and then during the show, we had guys that would go out in the audience and hand out these little buttons. They were like campaign buttons that had 3E written on it, which stood for the Third Encore, to the most beautiful women they could find by the hundreds, and say, "The Eagles want you to come to this private party. It's upstairs at this suite, blah, 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 blah." And so by the time we finished and got off stage and jumped in the car and went back to the hotel, got to the room, showered, and then went down to the suite, which was furnished with champagne and hors d'oeuvres and appetizers and all sorts of other party supplements.
It's like the greatest bar mitzvah ever.
It would be wall-to-wall with women that were just dying to meet you.
Wow.
And whose idea was that? Because that person should have been a full partner.
He was. Yeah. It wasn't my idea.
That should be a third partner, just the Third Encore guy. And I love that there was a name, the Third Encore. I mean, it's brilliant. That guy's a genius. Yes. Screw Hotel California. And the women would be there and throw themselves. How long were you able to resist? Because you were married. Was there a period of time, like a couple of months?
No, I was just ravaged with guilt during it all. I mean, to the point where, the nights that I was really really high or really drunk, really bored. I don't know if you spend a lot of time on the road, but you spend
I spend a lot of time in my house.
You spend 2 or 3 hours on stage,
right?
And then the rest of the time, 20 or 21 hours, you're just sitting around with nothing to do, and you find all sorts of horrible things to do, whether it's drugs or alcohol. Or Walsh and I, God bless him, one of
Joe
my
Walsh.
favorite guy. He was my comic relief. I just loved the man. He and I would get into all sorts of things.
You know what's amazing? Joe Walsh, to me, is one of the most talented guys. He was in the James Gang, wrote great songs. He joined the Eagles, and now, and he's not a full partner in the Eagles.
No, he's not.
No, he is. In other words, they pay him well, I guess. He has a deal with them where if he goes on tour with them, he gets paid.
Right.
If they make an album, he gets paid. He gets paid by those two guys.
That's how I understand it. Yes.
Right. It wasn't like your deal where you were a full partner. And yet, I'm always surprised that Joe Walsh put up with that, because wasn't he too responsible for giving them more of a rock image and that? And they control him so much that he was not even allowed to dance on stage, right? They would tell him no.
Joe and I used to dance on stage during All They Want to Do Is Dance.
Right.
And we would get together and play these guitars and dance and just kind of hammer around on the camera.
It's fun.
And Henley would say he didn't like the camera being
moving
on
away
us.
from him. Yeah.
Right.
So we were a distraction from the Don Henley show, and so we were reprimanded. So we literally started standing almost with our feet nailed down to the floor on that
And
song.
you were probably like, well, I'm being reprimanded, but I have just as much say in this band as the other guys.
You bet, absolutely.
I mean, that's got to drive you nuts.
Yeah, I was castigated one night for wearing the wrong color shoes on stage.
Do you think it was because you were sucking away? Because I find when I watch an Eagles performance, I always like to watch Joe Walsh because he was always a little bit out of control.
He's animated.
And now he's Robo Joe.
Yeah, I used to do in high school. I used to do an impression of him with Hotel California
with the faces
for my friends. It was like we'd be a little drunk, and when you and him are together doing the solo at the end, I could do the.
Right,
Those weird faces that Joe had.
That's perfect.
But as
and
much
the
as you
chemistry between you two guys was hilarious.
Right.
Yeah.
But you see, it was too much for these other two guys.
These the egomaniacs.
They couldn't handle it.
Yeah, the issues really came down to greed, power, and control. And
What
those
do you
are
think
ugly things.
as a corporation, the Eagles Corporation, T-shirts, concert tickets,
Huge.
albums. What are we talking?
Billions of
dollars.
Wow.
And you know that because you
were a part of it.
You were a part. But you thought that the books were being cooked, and you sued to get more money, right?
Well, no, what happened was I started asking questions, and I started getting these kind of sandbag answers. And as CFO, I thought that I should have the right to at least see what's going on. How much money are we making?
We're talking billions
Where are
of
the
dollars.
expenses going? What's happening? What kind of deals are you guys making for records or touring? Or, hey, what's going on,
You're a
partners?
partner, yeah.
Right.
And so my lawyer started asking these questions since we couldn't get any answers directly. And after he submitted, even though we had been promised in contracts along the way that they would provide us this information, his last letter was sent saying, hey, you promised us to give us this information. When do we get it? And the next day I got a phone call saying I was fired.
How can you be fired? You're a partner.
Well, that's the point. So if you're a shareholder in a corporation, if you own or have a position where you work for the corporation, they can remove you from that job. But
so
they can't.
you were fired. The guys
As a
didn't
guy
even
on
come and
stage.
say to you.
They didn't talk to me at all.
They wouldn't talk to you because you dared to ask questions about your share.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
So you did sue.
That's right. It was the only way that we even spoke to them and said, hey, you leave us with no resort other than to file this litigation. We don't want to do this. Believe me, I've never been in a lawsuit with anybody, and I hope I'm never in another one in my whole
How
life.
long did the lawsuit take?
6.5 years.
And I presume you won and got hundreds of millions of dollars.
We settled.
You settled?
Yes.
Why did you settle?
Well,
so if you settled, you got tens of millions of dollars.
well, in that settlement, there's a non-disclosure confidentiality agreement that I can't discuss the intimate details of it. Although I'd like to.
But I would imagine you're still a partner business-wise with these Eagles.
I can't discuss that.
You can't even say that. But
because I need to know now. When they're on stage, are they working for you?
I can't discuss.
Well,
that.
they play Hotel California. They close every night with Hotel California, and it's a big part of the show.
Thank God you made that deal where you were in writing a full partner. Otherwise, you would have been screwed.
Absolutely,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not very rock and roll, is it? That
What,
they
being
did
screwed in the music business?
Yeah.
It's historic.
Oh, it's
Everybody
historic.
gets screwed. Either the record company screw you, or the manager screw you.
But this is
or
your
somebody.
bandmate screwing you.
Yeah, that's especially, the irony of it is I think Don Henley was the head of Coalition for Artist Rights.
Wow. But let me ask you were upset.
Which is a bit hypocritical.
You were even upset with Joe Walsh. You felt when you got thrown out of the band, he would have stuck up for you more.
Well, yeah, I called Joe right after I got the phone call, and Joe and I had been, literally, I drove him to rehab. I, put him in my car and took him there and did everything.
By the way, everybody drove Joe to rehab.
Oh, they did?
That wasn't a big deal.
Not everybody got him to go in.
Well,
go ahead. Yeah.
I only had me and Joe in my car.
I'm just joking. Yes. And so you say you were so close with him, and then you call him up and say, Joe, I just got thrown out of the Eagles. Let's go in there and tell those guys off.
Yeah, well, it put Joe in a really difficult situation. I mean, you were talking about the control they have over him.
Yeah.
And he would have had to make a decision to put himself in a position where his neck was in the guillotine as well, along with mine, or just kind of step back and go, I'm sorry this happened. This is kind of what he did.
So he did. He remained silent. And
Yes,
were you
he
angry
did.
with him at that time?
I wasn't angry. I was more hurt than I was angry.
But
'cause
you
I really
can
felt
understand, he didn't have that protection.
He didn't have the protection. He didn't have the power. As a matter of fact, in my inquisitions, I was really asking not only for my benefit of what was going on, but for Joe and Timothy as well. They had no right to ask for anything, and had not asked for anything.
I mean, I'm sure whatever Joe gets paid is a nice paycheck, but it's a paycheck. It is not ownership.
That's right.
But if he writes a song,
He owns the
he owns
publishing or
something, I guess.
right?
But who knows?
Or is it like working for the telephone company? Anything you discover, it belongs to us.
I don't know right now what exactly Joe's deal is with them.
Right.
I can't discuss.
Well, they have an
in your non-disclosure. What about writing the book, though? Didn't they say to you, you are not allowed to write a book or talk about us or anything like that?
Well, that was their countersuit. And then the last contract we signed, what we would do is we would sign these ongoing contracts for every tour we did. Say, okay, we're going to do this and end this. And the last couple of contracts we signed, they put in this thing that said, nobody can do press or radio or newsprint or write a book or anything without the express written consent of Henley and Fry. In other words, you couldn't open your mouth unless they said it was okay.
Wow, that's what I mean.
But the term of those agreements were only for the tour.
I see. But why write the book? In other words, you're a wealthy man. You have more money than you'll ever need.
Let's go back to where I was when I was terminated. I'd gone through a really long, difficult time divorce with my wife, 29 years.
So half the money went out the window.
Well, I didn't care about that. My heart went out the window is what really mattered. So I'm sitting in a really dark place, Right. And so I started doing a lot of meditation. And while I would meditate, I kept reliving how I had gotten from that little dirt road in the South to where I was right now, having gone through all the steps along the way. Yeah, everything that I'd done. So finally, I sat down at this computer and I started writing this stuff down. Not with the intent of writing a book, but just more self-therapeutic than anything, cathartic.
Like a journal,
to just kind of start looking at myself and understanding more clearly, mentally and emotionally, what had happened to me. Finally, I realized I've got hundreds of pages of this stuff, and my fiance said, you should write a book about this. And I went, that's not a bad idea.
You're a creative guy. You're looking for creative outlets.
But I didn't do it with any sort of like sword in hand to decapitate people or show anybody for their warts or anything, because we all have warts and stuff in our lives.
But I'm sure Fry and Henley hate this book.
Well, I don't know. I've only heard from their lawyers. I've never heard from them.
That means they hate it. The lawyers don't call and say, God, great book.
So you have a son from your first marriage. Was he angry with you? Didn't you have a son as well from your first marriage?
Yeah, I have 4 kids from
you
my
have 4
first
kids.
marriage. Yes,
Were they angry with you over the divorce? Were you the bad guy?
Yeah, originally, when the reason I stayed was for my kids. I was there for about 8 to 10 years, longer than I thought I should have been. And bless my wife. we're still great friends. We talk every couple of weeks on the phone. She comes to my house for Thanksgiving dinner. We're beyond all that anger. We've got kids, grandkids together.
Right.
We have hundreds of friends we share. We see each other at parties. So, why throw a relationship like that that's been so long and so great a way?
For all the coke and everything, you look amazingly well. I mean, you're
kind of cute too, Howard.
How old are you now? I mean, seriously, how old are you now?
Do I have to say on the air?
Sure,
okay.
go ahead.
I'm 60. I'll be 61 in September.
Wow. You look terrific.
Wow, see all these guys who turning 60.
How old's the fiance? But she's a youngster, huh?
She's 42.
All right, that's nice.
She'll kill me for that.
Where'd you meet her? Is she hot?
Yeah, she's beautiful. She was Miss Niagara. She's Canadian and was runner-up to Miss...
Cool.
It's in the book. There's a photograph in the book.
Naked or clothed?
No, not. I'm the only one, I think, lately that's seen her naked, I hope.
You never
Although
know.
I am out of town,
What a shame that here you make such great music with those guys, and it'll never be again. You can't work with those guys. They just made it impossible.
You never say never.
You say, yeah, that's
true. Well, you did do a reunion
in '94. Yeah,
94.
we were back together in '94.
How was that?
Well, that was it was separatist, segregated.
There was no communication during that.
Very little. As a matter of fact, everybody went in separate cars to the show. We had separate dressing rooms backstage. As soon as the last note was off, we scattered.
Didn't you say at one
nobody
point
wanted to be in the same room?
I saw you guys at Giant Stadium.
Oh yeah, that was great.
And it was a great concert. But it just. Do you still talk to Joe Walsh? Is that
I would love to. I've reached out to Joe many times, and I think he's in a really difficult position to be able to have a relationship.
They might think he's a traitor if he's talking.
So when's the last time you spoke to him?
At a deposition about 3 years ago.
Real? Oh,
I gave him a big hug, and I apologized for having to have him come and do that. And, it's just awful.
Hey, man,
did he understand that you had to do? He did.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, we even ran into that control thing. Remember, Joe came in, and what song did he do?
Desperado. He sang
Henley
it.
song.
Don Henley went berserk. He said he didn't want Joe performing that by himself on our show.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, he got in a lot of trouble.
Joe actually used to play Life in the Fast Lane in his solo gig, and Henley came out and said, "Accept no substitutes." And so I felt like saying that when they go out and play Hotel California. I felt like saying, "Hey, Don, accept no substitutes." But
were you shocked that they named the album Hotel California? Because after all, it was your song.
I was shocked when we finished it, the whole album. We had sat and listened to the playback party, where everybody's there and the record company execs are there. We were in the record plant in L.A. and we're playing it back. And when we finished, Hotel California was like the last one on the cut, not the beginning on the of the record. It was the last one on the playback reel. And Henley turned around and went, "That's going to be our single." And I went, "Oh no, you got to be kidding! It's 6 minutes long. It's slow. You can't dance to it." So everybody wanted like rock and roll and disco and R&B. It's got this. It breaks down in the middle where the tempo stops, and it's got this 2-minute guitar solo.
So you felt pressure instead of pride.
It's the wrong format.
Right.
Oh, hey, if you do enough of the right drugs, you could dance to that. I've done it.
You've done it.
Can I ask that one thing? In that Hotel California video, a couple of things. It's amazing just how different you look. The long hair you had and the beard and the flannel and everything. I mean, and you look better now, I think.
Oh, well, thank you.
But
coming on to you.
You got the double guitar going.
Yeah.
And Joe's next to you with the single guitar.
Right.
And like one thing, I mean, me and my friends were big Eagles fans. The one thing we always thought was you really looked so pissed off at each other. Besides that one moment, like you look like you just had a voice like a look like I don't give a shit anymore. By that point, had you had it by the time you made that video?
No, not there. I mean, Joe and I used to really push each other to the edge playing wise. I mean, it was like...
So it wasn't a look of anger.
No, it wasn't a look of anger.
It was intensity.
It was intensity, yeah. It's like we got our game face on. We're kind of going for it.
Right, you're very much into it.
Yeah, that's why when you look at Joe, he's really intense. He's into it. And then I say, you're showing.
But you said one time, one show that you did, it got so bad between... Henley and Fry, that they had to turn off all the microphones because you could hear the yelling and screaming.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have been at that show.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love shows like that.
Yeah.
Also,
one thing, when we talk about songs that you can make a living off of, how much money has that song made?
Generated?
Not enough.
Not enough, huh?
Really?
But you never
No,
have to
it's
work
made
again.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
I'm
that
fine, yeah.
you can't get away from.
How
It's
crazy?
everywhere.
How crazy did the sex get? Did you and Joe Walsh? Did
You and Joe Walsh had
ever,
sex?
No. Did you and Joe Walsh ever bang a chick together? Did you ever double team
no,
someone?
no.
Never did.
Not that I can remember.
Well, you know what? The
But
other
Joe used to throw. But Joe used to chainsaw hotels.
He did,
would.
yeah.
He would really do all that
He
stuff.
did. He had an electric chainsaw because the gasoline power ones made too much noise. You could hear him coming.
He had an
But
electric.
the electric one, you just hear the blade coming through the walls.
Oh, my God.
Why would he do that? Why would he destroy property like that?
Well, it was comic relief is what it was. Like I said, you got
Boredom, yeah.
22 hours of sitting around with nothing to do in some hotel in Boise,
But the
Idaho.
poor
You gotta
manager,
find
the poor
some way-
manager of the hotel probably said, "Oh my God, this guy just." I mean, I'm sure you had to pay for it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Came out
But
of your
they still-
Yeah, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
What- I also read that
we
Joe,
had some of the greatest times together, trashing hotel rooms and hanging out.
I read that one of Joe
Trashing
Walsh's
rent-a-cars.
best friends was Keith Moon, right? He hung out with him a lot, so
Right.
that's probably where he got some of that behavior
Absolutely, yeah.
Don Felder's book, by the way, we should mention, is called Heaven and Hell, My Life in the Eagles, and it's available in stores now, and as Gary and Artie can attest to, it is a fascinating book.
Well, you know what?
And
I'm
you should check it
wondering
out.
if he gets into the sexual or whatever escapades of some of the other members of the band. Because the other day I was talking to somebody and they just kept saying they apparently had some private knowledge of Don Henley. And they just kept saying to me, he's a freak. He's a freak.
Is Henley a freak?
Oh, I can't really comment on that.
Who had the biggest penis? Who had the biggest penis in the Eagles? Quickly. How dare you? Throw you right out of here. A couple of quick questions from the audience because I'm sure people want to speak to you. So let's go say hi. Do you have a question for Don Felder?
Hey now, how you guys doing? Hey Don, it's an honor to talk to you, man. I love all your work. God bless you. This is Michael Bradley, and I don't think the Eagles are the same without you. And what do you think of the new album? And do you think Artie should boycott the Eagles show that he's going to go to?
Hey, you're going to see the Eagles, aren't you? Yeah.
At the Borgata in Atlantic City, I have plans, but I might not go now because I like Don.
Well,
It's not the
I think
Eagles.
Don should go with you. What do you think of that?
Oh,
Take to the state. No, you know, no interest. You don't want that.
Their album, I've listened to it, and I was really shocked and disappointed that they have, in my opinion, one of the greatest rock and roll guitar players alive today in Walsh, and you just don't hear him on the record at all.
Right.
There's no Joe Walsh.
It sounds like a shitty country record.
It does. Yeah, it sounds like kind of a Nashville produced record. I was disappointed.
The book is called Heaven and Hell, My Life in the Eagles. It's available in the stores now. Why don't you check it out? It's very well written. You wrote it yourself, or did you have a little help?
I wrote most of it myself. I had a help from an English writer who did a lot of fact checking and took a lot of my ramblings, and we both edited it and condensed it down.
But this is really from your journal. This is okay.
I was going to say, as a singer, you say fact checking. That's interesting to me because you're writing a riff like that and creating something. There's a possibility that you might have heard it somewhere before and it might be somebody else's thing. Do you get afraid of that?
Yeah, well, you have to.
Right,
yeah.
so you have a guy who will check a bunch of legal things and say, no, look, that's original.
Yeah,
because as a comedian, that happens sometimes,
you
too.
bet. Yeah.
You think of a joke and you go, that's a great joke, but maybe I heard it before.
Sure.
You know?
I'm writing a CD right now, about halfway through one for next summer.
Right.
And I won't receive CDs from anybody. People go, I got some song ideas, because if anything shows up that's even faintly
Howard does the same thing with scripts, right? You won't take a script from...
Yeah, you have to, because if you're writing, then...
You have a real hot daughter, right? She's a model.
Oh, she's unbelievable, yeah.
How old a girl are we talking about?
She's 24.
And she's got a real modeling career going, huh?
Well, she does modeling, but she's a singer. She's been signed to Warner Brother Records.
Oh, wow.
She's an unbelievable singer. You have to hear her sing. As a
Okay.
matter of fact, I'll come back with her. We'll sing something on the show when a record comes out.
I would love that. All right,
Yeah,
that
she's
sounds good.
fantastic.
Well, you're a hell of a guy. It's great to hear your story.
I don't know. We're only hearing his side of this whole thing. Maybe
Well-
he was the fly.
Well, I don't know.
That's the surprise I have for you. Guess who's coming in next?
Howard, can I ask one more quick question?
Yes, go ahead, Artie.
You had the contention that you had, but with Henley especially, clearly you're a great singer too. Was it tough to give that song to Henley to sing as well? I mean,
no, I think Don's got one of the greatest voices
He
in rock
does,
and roll.
yeah, but-
and if I had my choice of hearing myself sing or Henley, I'd much rather hear Don.
You'd rather hear your song sung by Henley than yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll tell you, you got a nice voice, though.
He's a beautiful, beautiful voice.
But since they want to be so rock and roll, why does everything coming out of them sound so country?
I don't know.
My money nowadays, I hear from music people, everything has to be in a specific category to make any kind of money.
Right.
Like,
Well, I understand why they wrote a country album this time, but why does it always sound so country if they want to be rock and roll?
Well, there's no such thing as rock and roll anymore.
That's right. That's true.
One of my favorite renditions of that song. See if I can find it. I don't have it. Okay, I give up. Anyway, listen. I was going to play you something funny, but that'll be another time.
Another time.
Yes.
It's GP1 and Pink.
Oh, Pink. Well, tell those guys to learn Red from Pink. This is one of my favorite. No, the guys, this isn't working. It's not here. Trust me. It's a different song.
You know, I know what you're going to play, I think, and after what Don just said, we should leave it there.
All right. Thank you, Artie. All right, we're going to take a break. I want to thank you so much, Don. Don Felder's book, once again, Heaven and Hell, My Life in the Eagles, available in stores now.
Don,
Yeah.
how'd it go in there, man?
Oh, it was great fun. I was a little nervous going in. I was afraid Howard was going to go for the jugular, but he was very kind to me and very gracious. I enjoyed it.
What'd you like about doing a show?
Well, it's the first time I've played live on the radio since I was 15. I used to go down to my local radio stations as a kid just to get some publicity and go play Apache or Walked Out Run or something like that on the radio. It was really the first time I'd done that, and I really enjoyed it. It was great fun. It's exciting.
That's pretty cool, man. That's why you were nervous?
Yeah.
So, you know, it seems like you had some rough times in the Eagles. Was it hard to talk about stuff like that?
Not really. Well, it was right at first. It's like any painful separation, you know, when you go through a divorce or lose partners or leave a band. At first, you're really kind of hurt by it, and it's difficult to deal with those emotions. But as time goes by, you realize that for every door that closes, there's a new door that opens, and you can look back at your life and go, you know, I had a pretty good life. I was blessed along the way here. I can't be too harsh and complain too much about it, so I'm happy.
That's good to hear, man. All right, thanks for stopping by
Thanks.
today.
I'm going to play a couple of things that have been happening, including Sal's weird pronunciations. You know the word villa?
Yeah.
I have a villa in France, perhaps you'd say. He calls it a villa.
I hate to say this.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
But
in Italian.
Get out of here. You're in America, asshole. First of all, I'll tell you what. You're not from Italy. You didn't grow up in Italy. You've never been in Italy.
Right.
I've been to Italy.
Yeah, okay. Here's Sal from the wrap-up show yesterday. Listen to this guy.
Women love men who are successful. So you have to play the success card. You have to paint the big picture. 90% of the time, a woman is not going to be attracted to the average guy right off the bat. But if you give her a reason, like you have a mansion, like you have a place in the Hamptons, like you have a villa in Italy, stuff that most likely she won't see.
What do you have in Italy?
I have a villa in Italy.
A villa. You've heard of a villa.
That's the best. I have a villa.
When Gary said, "What do you have in Italy?" I thought he was saying, like, you're really exaggerating.
I've never seen a guy, because you seem like a bright guy to me. Honestly, you do.
I think I'm a bright guy, but in
Yeah.
Italy, they say villa. They say Vene sta villa.
Forget Sal being an idiot with the word villa.
Okay.
Listen to this. This is from the wrap-up show. Don't get caught up in what the content is. Just
Okay,
listen to
just
this
listen
word.
to the
Listen to
pronunciation.
it.
Do you know do you remember what that whole Jim Jones thing was about?
Yeah. He had an occult. He gave all these people Kool-Aid and they dropped dead.
Wait, he had what?
And he had this occult. I think it's called an occult.
Right.
So in Italy, they say occult?
They say, where did you get that one from?
Yeah. How'd you learn how to say that wrong?
Well, a cult. I heard then it was cult, not a cult, but an occult is, I think it's a combination. It's like satanic groups. They're occults. But I thought it's the same thing. It's as long as it's a group
Sal,
of weird
do you
people.
ever read? Do you ever like take an interest in
Consult
anything?
the dictionary.
No.
Sal, when
Too
people
busy.
are saying occult, they're not saying occult. They're saying a, and then a word C-U-L-T, cult.
A cult.
And then there is the occult.
The occult or occult is holy cow! I can't
When I
believe
say occult, O-C-C-O-U-L-T, whatever it is, and you hear people saying occult, I'm always thinking it's occult.
No, yeah.
I never distinguish the difference between a cult and a cult. When you
holy cow! Where did you grow up, man? And don't give me this bullshit.
I grew
you
up
say
in Holbrook.
villa because you were in Italy.
Yeah, because when you're in Italy, they're
Okay.
like, come to my villa.
You know, he says that like from Transylvania. I want you to come to my villa. I'm going to play a couple of things that have been happening, including Sal's weird pronunciations. You know the word villa?
Yeah.
I have a villa in France, perhaps you'd say. He calls it a villa.
I hate to say this.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
But
in Italian.
Get out of here. You're in America, asshole. First of all, I'll tell you what. You're not from Italy. You didn't grow up in Italy. You've never been in Italy.
Right.
I've been to Italy.
Yeah, okay. Here's Sal from the wrap-up show yesterday. Listen to this guy.
Women love men who are successful. So you have to play the success card. You have to paint the big picture. 90% of the time, a woman is not going to be attracted to the average guy right off the bat. But if you give her a reason, like you have a mansion, like you have a place in the Hamptons, like you have a villa in Italy, stuff that most likely she won't see.
What do you have in Italy?
I have a villa in Italy.
A villa. You've heard of a villa.
That's the best. I have a villa.
When Gary said, "What do you have in Italy?" I thought he was saying like, "You're really exaggerating." You
I've never seen a guy, because you seem like a bright guy to me. Honestly, you do.
I am. I think I'm a bright guy, but in
Yeah.
Italy they say villa. They say "Bene sta villa."
Forget Sal being an idiot with the word villa.
Okay.
Listen to this. This is from the wrap-up show. Don't get caught up in what the content is. Just
Okay,
listen to
just
this
listen
word.
to the
Listen to
pronunciation.
it.
Do you know what that? Do you remember what that whole Jim Jones thing was about?
Yeah. He had an occult. He gave all these people Kool-Aid and they dropped dead.
Wait, he had what?
And he had this occult. I think it's called an occult.
Right.
So in Italy, they say occult?
They say, where did you get that one from?
Yeah. How'd you learn how to say that wrong?
Well, a cult. I heard then it was cult, not a cult, but an occult is, I think it's a combination. It's like satanic groups. They're occults. But I thought it's the same thing. It's as long as it's a group
Sal,
of weird
do you
people.
ever read? Do you ever like take an interest in anything?
Consult the dictionary.
No.
Sal, when
Too
people
busy.
are saying occult, they're not saying occult. They're saying a, and then a word C-U-L-T, cult.
A cult.
And then there is the occult.
The occult or occult is holy cow! I can't
When I
believe
see
I'm-
occult, OCCULT, whatever it is, and you hear people saying occult, I'm always thinking it's occult.
No, yeah.
I never distinguish the difference between a cult and a cult. When you
Holy cow! Where did you grow up, man? And don't give me this bullshit.
I grew
you
up in
say
Holbrook.
villa because you were in Italy.
Yeah, because when you're in Italy, they're
Okay.
like, come to my villa.
You know, he says that like from Transylvania. I want you to come to my villa.